Welcome to the first episode of Sacred Talk, hosted by yours truly, Ashley Jamira, but you can call me Ash. And today we have a multi-talented guest. She is an entrepreneur, masterclass dancer. She also is a host and creator of Deja's Diary. And today she added another weapon to her arsenal as becoming the author of, let me show y'all, An Orphan's Mind. So let's dive deep into her journey and get to know her and her insights on everything Deja. Okay? Welcome, Deja Regine Johnson. Woo! All right, Deja. We're going to dive right into it. We just going to talk because I feel like that's what's going to do it. Okay. So before we get started, I would just like for you to let everybody know, the viewers know, a little bit of background about yourself. Just like who you are, your upbringing, just something simple and light. And I'm telling you, we diving deep today. Ooh. So go ahead.
Cool. Hi, I'm Deja. A little bit about me. I would just sum myself up into being multifaceted because I've done a lot of things and like over a short amount of time, so I'm just trying to still figure out life, you know. But upbringing, originally from Orlando, Florida.
Crib.
But yeah, went to school in Tallahassee, FAMU. Shout out to the Rattlers. And I also did my master's program here at Full Sail. So
wow.
Yeah, that's pretty much who I am.
I love that. Okay, cool. So, with that being said, you're an author. Author.
Yeah.
Author. You're an author. Yeah. How does that feel? Because I feel like correct me if I'm wrong. Are you the first author of your family? Like,
yeah,
both sides? Is this something fresh, new that you're bringing to the family?
Yeah.
How does that feel? Like,
I don't know. I never even thought about it.
Yeah.
That being like the first. I never even thought about it.
Listen.
And that's true.
This girl dropped that on the net. I seen that. I said, a book that you can read. So I love that. I want to say again, congratulations.
Thank you.
No, for real.
Yeah.
Like, you got a book. Bro, you're setting the standard and you're paving the way. You always been like that. You always been that type. This is my cousin. You always been that girl. So I would like to know, now that you are an author, what led you to that point? Like, what you was just like in your room, like, I'm gonna write a book. Like, what got you to the place where I'm gonna write a book, I'm gonna put it out, I'm gonna get it published, like I'm gonna do all the things. I have something to say. What was that for you? Like, what led you there?
You know what? It's gonna sound crazy because it is. I would say initially I didn't not want to be, but I didn't have the thought to be an author. So one day I was just like randomly like going through scenarios in my head, and I was like, oh, that'd be a great book, and I just left it there, like nothing, just left it there. Then my mom, she was having a yard sale, and this random lady walked up to my mom and was like, I know you have a daughter, can I speak to her? And my mom was like, the fact that you even said that you have a daughter, and you know I have a daughter, so she's like, what is going on? She was like, okay, let me just see. And she let her in, and I'm like, Mom, you will never do that. But she was like, I don't know, just somebody's lady.
Wow.
So the lady came in, and she came into my room, and she was like, write a book and don't leave nothing out, and literally walked away. I was like,
what?
Literally, I was like, God, is this you?
Right.
Are you confirmed? Because it literally was just a passing thought from the original, oh, this would be a great book. But then for her to come the same day and confirm it, I was like, okay, it's something going on here.
So have you spoke to that lady?
I've never seen her. I haven't seen her ever.
Your mom didn't know who she was?
But then, it's because it's a yard sale. It's just random people coming up to the house.
Oh, that was the Lord.
It was the Lord.
That was the Lord. That was the Lord. Girl, you thought. Because the thing is, with ideas, usually they drop on you.
Yeah.
And procrastination,
Yeah.
that is what kills it.
Yep.
Because it's like, oh, that's a good idea. Like, I know y'all had times where you sitting there, you doing something like, oh, that'd be a nice, like you said, that'd be a nice book, or that'd be a nice video, or that'd be a cool thing. Mm-hmm. And what happens is, we say that, and then time rolls by, and it's like, it never comes to light.
At all.
But those things be coming from higher places, and it's like, act on that. That's what you're here for.
Yep.
Do it. And the thing is, you try to let it go. You try. Or I ain't gonna say let it go, but you try to have that procrastination between. And lady pulled up like, right there, boom.
Yeah, did. And walked away, and like, nothing. And mind
she need an autograph copy.
If I would know her, I don't even know her name. Like you,
look at the camera and tell that lady.
You came to my mama's house and so you got this book. Please come. Yeah. Sunday, please.
Oh, but we'll talk about that. Okay. So okay, beautiful. I love that. I love that journey to that. That's a great story. Yeah. Like that's actually one of a kind because. It's like, oh, the idea. And then somebody came and confirmed it. Like, and you acted on it. Yep. That's the key.
But I acted on it. But like you said, procrastination came in years later. Because COVID. COVID happened. So I had the book completely written. Well, I won't say completely written. I had a mass chunk of the book written. Yeah. But then when COVID happened, it was like all morale just like, like if it happens, it happens.
Wow. So. That actually brings me to my next question, which is during the journey, you already mentioned one, but what were some of the challenges and then also what were some of the rewards throughout writing this book, coming up with this project, all the way up to it coming out? What are some challenges and what were some rewards?
Gotcha. I'll start with challenges. So one of the main challenges that I had was because when you grow up, especially in the Black community, it's always what goes on in this house stays in this house, what goes on in this family stays in this family, and just in general, you know? So I was a little nervous about like just telling my story. And even in the book, it's not even just my story, it's experience that I've captured from different people as well, but it's just through my lens. So I was just nervous about like the perception of it, you know? But I also wanted it to be as authentic enough where everybody, like anybody, like from a 5-year-old to a 80-year-old can relate to the book. So I think that was a challenge of like not making it personal, but also not making it not personal. That was a challenge.
So you're saying you didn't want to make it personal because of your childhood or the way that certain information, we're on Sacred Talk. So sacred talk inside of the home, you don't want that to spill out and it affect more than just yourself.
Yes.
And so how did you get past that? Because a lot of people deal with that.
Yeah. Okay. So how I got past it was because of the purpose of writing the book. Because although it's telling stories about like myself and also like things that I've seen or encountered, the whole more purpose is to understand why you have the mindset you have. So I was like, you know what, like it may ruffle a little feathers, but at the end of the day, we got to get through it because on the other side, you will understand why I'm writing the book.
One thing about it, if you don't ruffle feathers, are we actually doing anything?
Right. True.
If it's not uncomfortable, we had to be born. When you been born, it hurt. I don't remember the pain, but I know it hurt the mama, and I'm pretty sure it hurt the baby. But if it don't, are you doing anything? So I like that you did that. I like the fact that you were able to get through that. I ain't gonna say past it or get around it. It's the fact that you were like, hey, listen, this is for a bigger purpose. The purpose is to help. The purpose is to spread this word that is desperately needed, especially today. Like the book, I'm gonna give y'all a reminder, An Orphan's Mind. Okay, it is desperately needed, and these last years or these last past years, we've seen like people are not connected to who they are. And we'll get into that too. But I love that you was just like, man, forget that. Because if I continue to think the same way that I thought in the past or was trained to think, then I'm going to have the same thing that I've been having. Where's the healing going to come about?
Exactly.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. I love that though. So that was, you would say, a challenge.
Yeah.
So what were some of the rewards? Like, just like through it all.
So I would say one of the best rewards, and it was something that you mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, even with like when I was doing like the podcast as well, but also now with the book, a lot of people be like, "You in my business," and I don't want to be intentionally in y'all business, but I want you to know that you're seen. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like I think that a lot of us like live our lives on a day-to-day basis. We don't realize that some of us are actually living the same lives.
Ooh.
And we're not telling and we're not talking about it because it's like maybe it's traumatic or we don't want to make a scene or we just cope differently.
Yeah.
But honestly, we all live in the same lives, you know, but in different ways and we have different encounters. But we all live in the same lives and we all just need to be seen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, for real, because I was telling you, like you said, I'm reading the book, I'm like, bro, why are you in my business? Like, have you ever been to church and you just sitting there, you just like, I'm going to show up, do right. And the pastor starts talking and basically getting into your business. I'm like, hold on.
I'm a visitor.
Did you just see me just stand up and say all this? Like, but what is going on is, like you said, all of us, we live some of the same lives, or we go through the experiences. So like when people come out and write books or put out a video or anything, that's why people can connect to it, because they can resonate with the story, even though the characters change, the settings change. You know what I'm saying? But the message, the lesson, the blessing, all of that pretty much be the same.
Centered.
You snap. No, for real. Because I'm like, so that's one of your rewards that you've seen thus far. And you're like, okay. I love that, dude. Like you said, man, people be living some of the same thing. A lot of things. Oh, another thing that you said was you don't say anything. And we'll get into that too. But do you think that's a part of the reason why people feel like they're so alone, or somebody else is not going through this? I'm going through this by myself. You hear it all the time. Oh, you're not alone. You're not alone. What do you think that blockage is between?
I would say I feel like that blockage, because mind you, y'all, I'm writing the book and I'm reading the book, but it's also like hitting me. So like when I actually read it back, I was like, oh, I'm slapping myself. Like, because it's stuff that you forget about subconsciously, and you like, because the words I wrote years ago, but then I came back and recently, like, revamped them and then, like, added some more stuff in. So I was like, I kind of foreshadowed some of the things that would happen in my life.
Wow.
So I think that barrier that people has is because, like, even now, like, I can imagine maybe you experience this, but I also experienced it when I first started a podcast. I'm like, everybody in the world podcast, like what I'm gonna say if everybody in the world, like, everybody got the mic, like when you think about that, like it's like what my voice has to do with any type of change if everybody else is around me doing it. So it's like that's why people don't really talk or like speak up about certain things, because it's like it's like woe is me, like I understand that everybody else is going through it, so like what my little incident or what my little thing, but no, your stuff is important as well. Like there's certain voices that you would reach that nobody else can reach, you know? So.
Now we're going to have a selection from the choir. She's preaching!
Yeah, but that was the barrier. Come on, man.
Yo! Oh my gosh. Deja. When I get the book, okay? This woman, you just said a word, because we get drowned out by the noise, and we feel like, oh, if I say something, it's so loud in here. If I say something, nobody gonna hear me anyway. If I say something, nobody's gonna care. But just like you said, I can say something and I can touch these people. You can say something and touch a whole different set of people. What matters is did the message get through?
Did it get through? We can get 3 people or 3,000.
Oh,
them 3. They got the word.
You know what my thing been? The last couple months of 2023 and this year is be faithful over a few.
Yep. Now, can I get offer place? Because it's just going back and forth.
Put the money in there. Ain't nobody in there. Thank you. Yeah. Be faithful over a few. I had just read that, like I said, towards the end of 23, and I heard it before. I heard it like in church or whatever, but for some reason it actually stuck to me, and it was like, and not just because it's not just a few people. Let's say you're a performer, and it's like only 2 people in the crowd. Be faithful over those few. Like, talk to those people like it's a billion of them out there. Or even if it's if it's 2 out there, you should know their name. You should be able to get down there and know their situations. Be able to help pour into them. That's being faithful over a few. But not only with just people, also with your finances. Okay? You saying you want millions and billions. Okay? This is what you're getting and what you can have. Okay? It's for you. It's there for you. It is abundance at the top. Definitely. Don't get that twisted. People like to think like, if I help you, that's taken away from me. No, it's not like that. It's so much room at the top, just like it's so much room at the bottom. Abundance in all places.
Fake it down there.
Okay, they waiting for you. Come on. So with being faithful over few, like you want to have all this money or whatever accolades. Be faithful when you have $2. Okay, what you gonna do with your 2? All right, and then you can be blessed with more. What you gonna do with your 2 friends? Then you can be blessed with more. What you gonna do with your 2 followers? With your 2 fans? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna show that you always like, man, forget them, man. There's only 2. No, your grandma like all your videos.
Incoming.
The algorithm. You don't even say thank you. You just let it there. You don't even put a heart. Be faithful over that because that's how you be blessed with more. Whatever you put out is what you get back. Just like this conversation, which I love because you putting out so much good energy and this is making me go up even higher. But yes, that's one of the things. So I love that you mentioned that. You are freaking awesome. Oh my gosh. All right, so my next question is your publishing journey. Okay. Wait, before we even get to the publishing journey, you mentioned that you had wrote some of these things years ago. How long was the process? And then not only that, what was the publishing, process and everything?
Whew. Okay, yeah. So I would say I started writing in 2019. Wow. And mind you, 2019, it wasn't the roughest, but it was like a really rough season for me.
Why?
Because I transitioned into like a different state and I was pursuing a different job offer and it all fell through. So I'm like, because you get to the point where like you done graduated and I'm sick of starting over. Like, I'm just sick of starting over and like I keep going towards this thing, but it's not happening. But I know this is what I'm called to do. So it's like, how many shut doors am I gonna be able to like handle? So I was like, you know what, like, let me just try to figure something out. I'll just get something regular and then we'll figure it out. So I was in a job that I didn't really like, and I was just writing. I'm like all the experiences that I wrote about, I've experienced them in some way. So it's like when I'm reading a book, it's like kinsmen. Like I understand the feelings and emotions that you guys are going through because trust me. Like when hope is lost, you know. So I started that in 2019, and then 2020 I was gonna publish it, but it was just something missing. I could not figure it out, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna just leave it on the table. So a couple years went by, went into a whole different direction career-wise, and then around like when I started the podcast, I picked up the book again. I was like, oh my gosh, like these are words that needs to get out. So that was around like 2021, and then still I was like, I looked at it and I was like, you know what, I'm over here now. Like let me just keep this focused. But then last year I was like, this book getting out. Ooh. Like this is like I can't wait. And you know what, another thing too, like I kept thinking like something was missing. Like did I grasp enough people? Like did I make it like inclusive enough where everybody's emotions are like captured, you know? Like, and I kept going back and forth, and I was trying to explain myself like so much because I was like with cancel culture, you don't know if you can say certain things, so it's like I'm taking stuff, adding it back in, taking stuff, adding, like, so it was just so much back and forth till I got to the point. Actually, Tish, she helped me.
Shout out to Tish.
Shout out to Tish.
That girl.
She was like, the people gonna read whatever they want to read.
Mm-hmm.
Like regardless of what you put, like if you explain it, like I feel like she was like, if you explain too much, it's your perspective. And you just let them read it and for themselves so they can grasp it. And I was like, yeah, that is, because that's what I wanted. But I was just trying to explain myself. But she was like, there's no need for you to explain. Like,
yep. Because no matter what, they're gonna have their POV. They're gonna have their point of view. Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? And I let my hands go. I was like, you know what? Let's get it out.
Wow. Yep. So publishing.
Oh, publishing. Oh, I self-publish.
Wow.
And that, I never done it. And like, so it took me like 4 months to actually get the process of self-publishing. Mm-hmm. Like, and even with like the template of like publishing, oh my God, in order for you to get the structure of the book, like the height, the weight, all of it, it took so long. Like, there's so many submissions that I had to do. I had to do like at least 100 submissions for me to even get the structure of the book correct. But now I know how to do it, but it's like I don't went 3 days and I haven't got it. I'm slamming the laptop.
Don't worry about it.
I don't want to do this no more. But I like, the next day I was like, okay, let me just get on. Let me try it again. So I did it every single day, like pressing enter, like moving the space. Like I did it like so meticulously by myself trying to figure it out until I actually got it. And when I got it, I was like, oh, it's getting published today. And I just submitted it like,
what?
Because it's like, it took so long for me to even get the structure of the book correctly for it to be submitted.
So you're talking about just like having to be in the right column.
Yes, like lining. And then because it has some type of poetry in it, like the way you write poems and how it's laid out on the paper is like so meticulous.
It's important.
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. But got through it. Yeah.
Theme, never stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never stop. Be like an ant.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get an ant wave go around. Yes. Mm-hmm. And then also, shoot, you didn't mention it before with the challenges, but those are some challenges that would have stopped somebody.
Yeah.
That would have stopped them completely. Mm-hmm. But you said, I got up the next day, I'm going to try it again.
I'm going to try.
I'm going to be out to me. I'm going to try one more time. And that is what matters.
Yeah.
If it's something that you want to do, if you allow anything to stop you, then it's like, do you want it?
Yeah.
You don't know what's on the other side of this thing.
Exactly.
And you've already helped and touched so many people. And if you would have stopped, if you would have just said, it's not lining up right, get it, forget it. Like, the book wouldn't have been out.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have been able to touch the people that you've touched, like, touch me. So I appreciate that. And also, I just want to say the importance of don't stop.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you have, whatever goal, whatever thing you want to do, keep going. You just inspired me to just keep going. Even when you said like, oh, it's other people out here doing podcasts. Oh, it's other people doing this. Yeah. It's like, man, you ride down the street. It's so many food restaurants. Just because McDonald's got a restaurant across the street, that didn't stop Burger King. You know what I'm saying? That didn't stop.
McDonald's got a restaurant across the street from McDonald's.
Come on. Come on. Like,
they on the same block.
The people are there.
Yeah.
It's just keep going till your community finds you. Y'all gonna find each other, and that's it. So, I love that.
And I do want to touch on something that you said too. Like, I didn't quit and I didn't give up. But what you said was like, I did have those emotions of like, I'm not finna do this. Like, I'm giving up. Like, I actually had those emotions. Yeah. But it's up to you, like you said, to just keep moving forward because your emotions are valid. Like,
for sure.
Even one day I slammed that computer. Multiple days, but I just kept like the next day was like,
I'm gonna still
fresh oil. Like, let's try it again.
That's what I love about the next day. Oh, and you said you walked, like, it's importance. You said you started it at this point, and then you didn't do anything to a couple of years. It's an importance of walking away.
Oh, yeah.
It's a, like let's say if you've been studying all night or whatever, and nothing is getting through no more. Like, it's just like, it's just going through your head. It's important to just walk away, get some fresh air, take a break, and come back, and now you got a fresh mind. Yeah. So everything in the journey played a role to everything that went into the project. So, hey, amen, because you never stop. Yeah. That's what matters, too. Yeah. You never stop, no matter how long it takes. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4. 8 year, 9 year, more than that.
Not the Zeus. Come on, man.
But you did that, and I love that. It's so inspiring. And it's so great that we're having this conversation at the top of the year because it's just making me want to go get it. It's just making me want to go get it. I don't care if I slam my laptop, I'm thinking about you.
Just keep going.
Wow. Deja said, get up and do it again. So I'm gonna do it again. So I appreciate that. And I realized that we've been talking about the book, talking about the journey, talking about how much it helped in, you know what I'm saying, people and me. But can you give an overview of the book? Like a quick, it don't even have to be quick. Give an overview.
Gotcha. Okay. So the overview of the book is basically of the title. It's An Orphan's Mind. Okay. So the whole gist of the book is to like basically analyze yourself and the way you think. Because for me, I think if you think correctly or you view yourself correctly, or if you have your mind and your thoughts under control, you can do anything in the world.
Ooh-wee.
So, because it's a lot of things stem, like I know a lot of things stem from the heart, but I also believe that the decisions that you make detours or guide you to the certain things you're supposed to be in life. Yeah. So the overview of the book is to basically like clean the clutter out of your brain, because it's like sometimes we like from upbringing, or because things happen to people as children as well, or just in life where you decided that you want to do something and it didn't work out the way you're supposed to do it, like, or people like passing away, or like it's just a lot of things that like people go through in life that like changes their perspective of what life can be. Ooh. And for me, it was like I had to understand, because we all going through a lot of things, but I was like, how can I get through this? You know, like how can I move forward? Because there's not a job, there's not a relationship, there's not anything tangible that can guide me. Like there's not a book, like there's not a specific thing that can like guide me to where I want to be. And I was like, you know what? Everything in life is predicated on your decisions. Woo! Like every single thing, from the time that you wake up to the time you go to sleep, everything that you do is a decision. So I was like, okay, so the mind is the focus. The mind is the focus. So once I got that understanding, I was like, what things happens in the mind? Like, so I mentioned stuff about like trauma. I mentioned stuff about like your expectations. I mentioned stuff about love and heartbreak. Like it's like things that will like basically knock you off your axis. Yeah. And like you feel like there's no other way of life. You know, like there's no other things that I can do. So I was like, okay, on that journey I was searching. I was like, you know what? With all that, how can I be? Like, how can I be? Yeah. Like what type of authority did I have that I didn't know that I have? Like how can I be successful with these thoughts? Yeah. And I understood that the only way is for you to identify as a child of God. Woo! Like that has to be your first identity outside of everything. Yeah. Because there's certain access to your lineage. There's certain access to your authority. There's certain access to like dominion that you have on the earth when you identify as a child of God. Ooh. So once you get like you're a king's kid, everything else will fall in line.
Why are you walking with your head down?
Your crown
leaning. You're a child of royalty.
Like,
pick that head up. Walk in that room. I love that. Yeah. So that's the overview. That's something that you can look forward to when getting this book. Yeah. I'm telling you, you got to do it. Change your mind. You said something about it all starts in your mind. How do you think? It just guides your whole life. And it's funny you said that, because last year was like my rebirth. Like I learned. Don't laugh at me.
No, go ahead.
I learned that I have a choice.
Yes, a lot of people don't know that, Ash.
I learned that
every single thing.
This situation, no matter how tough it is, no matter how good it is, no matter how annoying it is, I have a choice to act this way, or not even act, respond this way or this way. And depending on that choice, that is how your body is going to act, feel, follow. I did not know that, Deja. Like, I swear, I did not know that. And it's from everything. Like, it's from when you in traffic and somebody cut you off, you be like, or you can be like, you know what?
They probably late.
They probably running late. I'm good. I got my little tea. I got my little biscuit. You know, like, I'm good. Why would I? That's not my stuff. That's theirs in that car.
There it is.
I didn't know that, Deja. I felt like whatever was happening in life either was happening to me and whatever, I allowed my mind to be free or whatever emotions to do whatever with God put me in charge of this body. He is in charge. But while I'm on this earth, like certain decisions, he gave me those free will. So it's like, all right, you have the situation. What you gonna do with it?
Yep.
What you know to come to me for the answers. But what you gonna do? Cause you in school, you got a teacher right there. But when the test come, you can't be like, hey miss. Number 3? You can't do that. You can't do that. No, you can do that. You know, you can always go to that. But it's like, it's going to be things out there. And some tests are little. But we make it big because we don't realize we have a choice to choose. Man, somebody just bumped me. It's like, you know what? They probably going through, hey. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody bully you. But it's like, people be going through it and everybody don't have emotional maturity. They don't have maturity over their emotions. So it's like, you have to see that. You have to understand. You have to step back and analyze like, oh, I got a choice to respond to that. I got a choice to even look over there. Some people sit in the room and be like, oh, look how she looking over there. That girl over there going through it. It's like, girl, leave her alone.
She lost her dog. You didn't even know.
Tito is lost. She cannot find Tito nowhere. Like, if people playing on the internet with Tito pictures with a wig all the time.
Listen, please contact.
Like, and you over there thinking this girl got an attitude with you. She don't.
She don't.
But now you made a choice to make that about you. You took that personal. Now you mad.
There it is.
And then you not only take that energy, change it to something bad, and then you talk to your homegirl, girl, she's over there thinking she better than us. Da-da-da. You have a choice. Let's say sis is mad at you.
And
I have a choice not to care. I have a choice. And one thing I'm going to do is lead with love.
Like,
and you cannot come over here with that hate because that love going to block it out. Boing, boing, boing. Get back. So it's like, I love that. I love that. And Orphan's mind, it combats those thoughts. When I read that, it was like, dang, okay. It goes against the thoughts that you've been doing or been working on or not working on that you've been operating out of your whole life. It challenged that.
And I would say something too, like what I learned too over the years, but specifically 2 years ago, because it was a situation that happened, all your thoughts are not facts and are not truth. So just because you thought it doesn't make it real. So when people capture thoughts and they put it in a truth box, your whole life can be messed up. So that is what, like, one of the driving things is, like, you have to take, like, I saw, oh my gosh, I don't know the dude's name, but I saw a TikTok and he was talking about, like, taking your thoughts captive. It's like literally you have to take that thought, put it under, like, investigation, like, who sent you? Who are you? Like, where you from? Like
who sent you?
Yeah, like, you got like, you really have to understand, like, everything that comes through that portal is not always true. So you can take something and hold on to it as if it's like law, and it's not even something that you're supposed to be attached to.
Always stand guard of your mind.
It's the brain.
Deja. We getting into it. Okay, let's keep going, man. All right, so now at this segment of the show, we're going to get into some quotes from the book. We ain't gonna get too deep because y'all gotta go get that book, okay? I'm pretty sure y'all worried about it now. So we're gonna get into some quotes from the book, and then we're gonna get Deja's insight. That's cool. Okay. So these are, it's just 3 of them, and it's some ones that stuck out to me that I wanted to present today. So let me actually, we're gonna go. Deja, can you throw up the book?
Yes.
Can you show the people the book?
And open is mine.
Okay. You ready? If not trained to survive, the world locks you up and throws away the key. And if that's not enough, they predict who you are going to be. Can you expound on that?
That's the one. That's one that I've lived every day. So, if not trained to survive, I think, like, certain skills that you need in life. Like, you need to learn how to share. You know, like, when you were a little kid, like, share with your person, like, share with your whoever.
Right.
But there's, like, certain, like, fundamental skills that you need as a person in life.
Right.
So if you don't have those fundamental skills, then you're not even gonna know how to like navigate in the world. Like some of us are like sheltered. Some of us are not even sheltered at all. Some of us are like perfectly sheltered. Like some of us are just. Some of us have like. We all have different experiences, but if you're not trained to survive, basically means it's like you don't have the necessary tools to function as a human being. Yes, as a child, like things like you're supposed to have a guardian, you're supposed to have that, and some people are neglected. But after that stage, when you're at the point where you have to make decisions for yourself, if you don't have those survival skills, you're not gonna be able to navigate the world the way you're supposed to navigate the world. So, and what was the next part?
And then they will tell you who you were supposed to be.
Yes. So, and if you don't have like understanding of who you are and the things that you have been gifted with, and also like the things that you want to pursue, like how we was talking about in the car, like certain things, like if you're creative, but then you get to a point when you're 18 and you can't figure out where to go, you directly go to college or you directly go to a trade school.
Yep.
But you have the gift and the dream to be a creative, so they're gonna tell you like, you know what, ain't no money in dance, ain't no money in film, like ain't no money in that. Like you need to go over here, you need to be a doctor, you need to be a lawyer. And granted, all those things are needed.
Yes.
But if it's not what I need to do and not what I'm created to do, then you're gonna go that way.
I'm gonna be miserable.
Like So that was like a life experience, because it's like, and it's nothing bad to like the people who gave me that advice. It was just something that they haven't seen themselves.
Yes.
So if they can't see it and they only see the success in these different areas, then they'll like put their perspective on you, and then it's like, from that moment, like you trying to figure, like you're scrambling to figure out life, because first of all, I don't even got the skills to even figure out life. I don't know nothing about finances. I don't know nothing about debt. I don't know nothing about credit. I don't know nothing about all of that stuff.
Yes.
And then I'm getting presented into a world that's what it runs off of.
Yes.
And I don't even know how to do it. So I'm like trying to struggle and figure it out. And then I'm in a place that I don't even know where I want to be.
Ooh.
So it's like so, but like, so that's how people get like boggled down, because like there's no clear line for you to even be who you're supposed to be. So.
When it's confusing to me, and with anything, if something is confusing, I have to ask, why are they making it confusing?
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Why?
Yeah.
Why can't I understand it?
Yeah.
Because you have to, whoever is telling you that, they
Yeah.
have to have control.
Yeah.
You have to always keep coming back to me.
Yeah.
To get the answers. No ma'am, no sir. And then also, like you said, growing up, or just like even your friends, like some people can unintentionally give you their limiting thoughts.
Exactly.
Because some people mean well, but they can unintentionally do that.
Yep.
And it's like you have to make sure you're clear of when you're talking to people, like, don't be like, oh no, I don't think you should. Oh, listen to the words, because this person care about you. That's why they presented it to you.
Yes.
But now you're putting fear on their, you know what I'm saying, their dreams or whatever. So I like that. And I like the fact, and when I read it, I read like, okay, they're gonna lock you up, or okay, they're gonna predict who you are. Just like you said, it gave me like school to prison pipeline. It gave me school to school pipeline, to school to working forever pipeline. But it didn't give any space for creative freedom. And I really feel like we were put on this earth to create. We need those essential careers and stuff, of course, and people have that drive to be that. That's their creative outlet. A surgeon, when they are in the body, that's their creative outlet. A teacher, when they're just flowing and teaching the kids, and that's their creative. But don't put somebody that's supposed to be singing and dancing in the office, because they're gonna be miserable.
Spinning around in your chair.
Tapping your feet every side of when the radio come on, you in there dancing because you're not supposed to be there. Or at least if you're there, find a way to let that out and let it ride. Because one thing about it, this is what I think. If we stuck in a place where we're not supposed to be, like a job we're not supposed to be at, and we're not addressing our creative talents that God gave us, if we're not addressing it, we're suppressing it. And that suppression turns to depression, turns into envy, turns into jealousy, turns into hate. And now you're looking at your friend like, why she doing that? Do it. You know, you looking at your friend and you want to support it, or you want to be a part, but you can't because it's been suppressed and depressed. And it's most times it ain't even your fault. You got to get into your mind. Because you're operating out of an orphan's mind. And baby, you snapped. Okay, you snapped. All right, let's get into the next one. The next one, it says, settling for anything just to feel love, rejecting the acceptance that comes from above, changing your identity and emotions just to fit in, secretly desiring structures that come from within. This is what I want to ask you before you get into it. Do you feel like shadow work, self-work, is necessary with yourself and God before you can have love attract to you?
So I'm not too familiar with shadow work.
Okay.
So, but I do know that, like the law of gravity or the law of attraction.
Attraction, yes.
What you give is what you receive, and that's sowing and reaping. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I do believe that whatever you give out is what you're gonna get back in. That's what I believe.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
You know what I learned?
What?
It's a guy named Jim Rohn. He said, it's not actually what you give, you get back. You get back more than what you give.
Yep.
If you plant an apple seed, one,
you have a tree.
get an apple tree, you get plenty out. You plant one watermelon seed, you have a cut up a watermelon seed, all them seeds. So if you putting out that bad energy, baby, you're not just gonna get one person cut you off in traffic. It's gonna be thousands. You're gonna be late to work.
Accident.
You gonna get accident. Like you gonna have your boss gonna call you and say, "Don't worry, I cover," because you.
Yeah.
And that happens. That's the opposite. So yes, whatever you put out, you receive, but you receive more.
Yeah.
You putting out that good energy. You're not just gonna get blessed. You know what I'm saying? On your ride to work, somebody let you in.
Yeah.
You also gonna get your tolls paid for. When you stop by the food place, they go like, "Oh, the person ahead of you paid for your food." You're gonna get more.
Yep.
It's gonna multiply.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead though. So that's the same thing. Like, do you feel like you should do work within yourself and with the Creator, with Divine, with God before you can attract love?
Oh,
like
definitely.
you have to address those childhood traumas, those things that was done in the past, maybe some bad you put out, and you have to go, you know, figure that out.
Yes.
Forgive yourself, forgive others before you can attract love.
I definitely agree. And one thing that I learned too over the years, Ash, I would say like, and I learned it at a very young age. I took myself out of the equation. So like when things happen to me, or things happen around me, or things happen in like family wise, I took myself out of it and I didn't view it as what was done to me. I just assessed the situation for what it was.
Wow.
So when you take that, like when you take yourself out of like something like because when the first thing was talking about like doing anything just to feel love, like when you take yourself out of that situation, you're like viewing it as just like you and this person. So even if this person dogged you out, even if this person like, even if they were the best person, like, and then you was the person that ended the relationship or like whatever it was, when you view it without your like emotions and without you being the center of it, you be like, oh dang, I shouldn't have talked to him like that. Or dang, I did say that and I know that he dealing with abandonment issues. Or dang, like I know he was very aggressive when he speak, but that's all his mom did to him. You like when you like take yourself out of it, like you start to see the perspective of the person, because it's not everything that has been done to me. Like because when you're emotional about it, like dang, like oh that hurts me. And granted, those emotions are valid. Yeah. But once you take yourself out of it, there's always a reason why people do the things that they do. There's always like that. Like you can't say that if there's not a reason why people do it. Every like how every choice, there's a reason why everybody does the things that they do. Yes. Whether that's upbringing, whether that's a specific choice that they wanted to do it. So that's how that perspective came about.
Girl, and you went back to choices of like reacting off of responding to whatever was done. It's like you can respond to it at its like raw state, like why are you doing that? Or it's like I know why he's doing that. Yep. Now I have a choice to stay or go. Yes. Yep. Because is this something I want to live with for the rest of my life? Yes or no. Back to choices.
It's like a lot of people think choices is like yes, no, maybe. No. Yeah. Like it's yes or no. Like
figure it out.
And it's a hard like
wait, what it is?
Yes or no.
Baby?
Yes. Like it's no gray area when it comes to choices, because when you make a choice, you have to like they say stand on business. You gotta stand on business when you stand on business.
Yeah, and you said it was hard. Like it can be.
It can be hard because like sometimes choices are made with emotions. So like when you're making a choice, like so granted, okay, scenario, say like I'm gonna just put a relationship in a perspective.
Good.
So say we're in a relationship and
us.
Not us.
Oh, I'm about to say, why would you say we?
Say I'm in a relationship.
Okay, there you go. I got a minute.
I'm taking.
Okay, go. Stop playing, huh? Okay.
So say I'm in a relationship, right?
Yes.
And we not to say that we like having some crazy stuff. There were some arguments here and there, but in my head, I'm thinking about marriage, right?
Yes.
So for me, and the decision that I make, and before we even get to that point when I'm in a relationship, for me is like right now, if this man never changes, am I okay with who he is? Not the potential. Like if he never changes in this moment, yes or no? I love him, but am I willing to go forever with this, with no change? Because, like, that's not promised when you get married. Like, change is not promised. Change is also a decision. So, right now, if this man never change, yes or no?
That's what I want to live with for the rest of my life.
That's what I mean by taking yourself out of the emotions. Because, like, it's certain things, like characteristics, values, characteristics, how many children, how we raising the children. Are you gentle parent or you attempting to strike? Like, you know, like, all those things. Like, you have to consider because, like, forever is a long time, you know?
Baby! And I ain't finna waste my good years playing with you.
With a maybe.
With a maybe.
And not with potential. Not like some brief thing that you showed me that could possibly happen. No, I'm talking about right now. Like on a Monday.
Yeah.
When you don't want to get up for work. You know, like that kind of vibe, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, since we're on a relationship tip, I have a question. Would you, I feel like I know the answer, but I'll say, would you or have you ever dated, entertained anybody that has not been attached to God, has not been attached to a faith? And if so, how did that affect the relationship and there on out?
I have.
Okay.
And one in particular, one was like blatant, but the one in particular was on the fence.
Okay.
So you have to be careful with the on the fence people because for me, like my faith is number one in my life. And granted, I don't think everybody like are on the same level when it comes to faith as well.
Yeah.
But I know for me and my relationships, that's a factor that I have. Like it's necessary for me because I like because of how strong my values are. He has to have the same values because if I'm like I said earlier, if I'm considering being with somebody for the rest of my life, it's not just us because yes, we getting married, but it's children. So now we're different, but then we have children involved. So now we have to make a decision. So if we didn't make it when we were together by ourselves, now we have to come, and now potentially strife can come in, our anger can come in because we have to make a decision on how to raise these children. Yes. Because the two perspectives is going to be different. So we didn't have it in the forefront, but now we got to have it in the latter. So it's going to be had. Yes. But
it's going to be had. Baby, this conversation got to be had.
It has to happen because it's like, now, like, for me, I think the easiest thing for me, and I'm thinking about my, like, when I have children, my goal as a parent is to relieve any type of stress that my child has to deal with in order for them to navigate life. So, like, even, like, as parents, like, we have to make the hard decisions in order for our children to be able to live freely. So a child is just supposed to be a child, you know? Like, so as a parent, like, if we're not on the same faith and, like, we on Sundays, we going to church, they ask the questions, why daddy ain't going to church? Yeah. Now I got to come out of my character. I got to get in explain it to the church. I got to explain it to the church.
We didn't have the initial conversation.
And now I'm pissed off because now I got to explain it to the kids, and that's not even a topic they should be talking about.
Yeah, that's grown folk business. Get in there.
So now when I get home from church, I'll be outside of my element and I'm like, devil, you be coming to spell on you. Like, me.
Go ahead now, Deja. Go ahead on, please. Well, since we talking about family, and I love that perspective because that's important. Get it done first before even moving on to bringing other people into the situation that y'all originally started. Yes. And y'all knew it was on shaky ground, so why are we bringing kids? Then why are we bringing the other,
you know, family?
Yeah, it's like,
and all that stuff. Too much.
Handle it first.
Yes.
Handle it in the beginning. And it's hard. Like, those conversations are tough.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you are able to figure that out, make the choice.
Yes.
Is this something that I want to live with for the rest of my life if they never change, or if they never get on board, or if I don't get on board? Is this how it's going to go? Yes or no? So that's important. But, like I said, since we're touching on family now, how do you feel about, you mentioned in the book about, what did you say, judgment in the own home, like that. And that made me think about, we don't talk in the house. Or we don't express feelings.
Yes.
We talk, we laugh, we play, we enjoy. But when it comes to feelings, I learned that as becoming an adult, it's like, ooh, I gotta talk about my feelings, my emotions. I gotta talk it out in order to actually come to an understanding. It feels great. After you learn it and you know how to do it, but
afterwards,
that initial, like, when that comes up, it's like, oh, I gotta do this. You push back. Every single time. I push back for years. Like, I'm not expressing myself. I know I'm a woman, but okay, I don't cry. Like, I'm not gonna. Man, when I started crying, my soul started cleansing. Like, my soul was like, finally, girl. What were you waiting on? Right? Nope, I ain't finna cry. What I gotta cry for? So, I feel like just the culture of, I would say, our people is, we don't show enough emotions. And then if we do, automatic anger or automatic on 10 because we suppress the other stuff. So do you feel like with this book, I feel like it's passing on generational wealth instead of generational pain, generational trauma. And I want you to touch on that and just your type of journey with learning your emotions and then learning how to talk about your emotions, learning how to get through it, and then now you can pass that to children once you have.
Ooh, so that was a journey of emotion. And granted, a lot of things, like, when I'm thinking about it, a lot of things, like, I thank God for, like, wisdom, because that's definitely a gift that He gave me since I was a child. But when it comes to emotions, and, like, it's specifically, like, in the home when you have to, like, have those hard conversations, again, it's like, I always consider, like, putting myself in the other person's shoes. You know? And even before that, like, I had to understand that emotions are gauges, you know? Like, they're gauges of where you are when it comes to, like, certain things. So if I'm going to if we're having a family talk and I'm going to you and like, my emotions are, like, really, really high. There's something that's, like, the emotions are, like, for me, it's like symptoms. You know, like when you're sick, like, it's the after effect of something that already happened. Ooh, so if I'm showing these emotions and then the way they are delivered lets me know that it can trace back to where, like, what's going on. Like,
girl, I'm finna swipe. You was talking. Come on, keep going. Sorry. What's the root? Okay.
Yes. Because that, like, it's like, because anything that happens outside of like words or like expressions, like, that's all external, but it starts within. So for me, emotions, for you to even act in that emotion, for you to act in anger, is something that's triggering that anger.
Come on.
Like, so let's, like, I understand you're angry. We gonna get it out. You can get it to the top of your lungs. After you got it out, let's get to the root of what's going on. Because
it's going to come up again.
It's going to come up again.
Inflammation is reacting off of the virus. Off of that diabetes. You know what I'm talking about?
It's the after effects. It's the symptom.
Wow.
It's the symptom of your
whatever you're feeling. Man, you're going to get far. I'm telling you. You're going to be like, go get me. Hey, go get me. You gotta stop playing. Deja, I got to get you back on the show because we are running out of time. And we but this is an awesome conversation. We definitely have to keep. I love that you're my first guest because this is, oh my gosh. Man, I want to dive deeper, but I know the time. So I want to talk about with you any future projects that you have that you want to share. Either with the book, either with anything. Let us know.
Future projects. Right now, hiatus.
Don't worry about it. But you got a book signing coming out tomorrow. By the time this get out, you guys won't be able to see.
Yes.
But
I do have a book signing back home in Orlando. It'll be tomorrow. And I'm very excited about that because it was supposed to happen a couple months ago, but it's finally happening.
Everything happens when it's supposed to happen.
It's supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. So I love it.
Yeah.
But future projects, I'm thinking about like there is another book, but I don't know when it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
But I give a little snippet, and it's basically because the mind is also connected to the soul. The soul is like the battleground of everything. Ooh. So just a little snippet.
Come on, soul.
Yes. So yeah.
This guides you to where you're supposed to be.
Yes.
Like she mentioned earlier, it was nothing there to do. She created it.
Mm-hmm.
As for me, I'll tell you what it did. It unfolded my mind, and it said, okay, what now? Flip the page. This is now.
Yes.
He's here. Lean on him. Man, when I started giving all my problems to the Lord, I felt amazing. Just give it to him. Mm-hmm. Deja, I want to say thank you so much for being an amazing guest. Oh my God. Tell them real quick where they can find you.
Okay, you can find me on all social media sites at Deja Regine J. And you can also find the book on Amazon. The link will be in the description below.
Oh, Thank you so much for joining me on the very first episode of Sacred Talk with your girl, Ashley Jamira, but you can call me Ash, and our beautiful guest, Deja Regine Johnson.
Thank you.
Hey, dog!